Shalom, shalom, shalom. This is your Akazaki Yahoo, and I start this broadcast as I would start any broadcast by first of all giving all praises, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah Bahashem, Yahushua Hamashiach, and to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. I say, Shalom wa Baruchim. That is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait to the day that the Most High brings us back together and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High power, under one covenant, and back in our own land with a heart of flesh and no more than a heart of stone. Hallelujah. Praise you, Abba Yahuwah. Hallelujah. Yahuwah. Oh, halal Yahuwah. Bahashim. Yahweh Shai. Hamashiach. Hallelujah. Praise Abba. So, Mishpakai, Shalom. First of all, I was just pulling up Sons of Thunder Israelites lesson for Yom Shishi evening. They do a lesson. Adawan, the elder Yahweh All, does a lesson. And it was so disturbing that the intro. I said I gotta share this because my people gotta know that this is what we're dealing with. We can't take these things lightly. We can't take these things and just sit on them like they mean nothing. This is real deal. Need to understand information. All right. So let's get to the lesson here. And we're going to jump right into what Adawan Yahweh All was bringing out. All right. Here we go.
Hey, Shalom. Yahabashina Shabarakatham. Shalom, shalom.
Barakatham.
Y'all let me know if my mic is good and y'all can hear me clearly.
Okay.
Let me check the chat.
This is not live, by the way.
Let me know if y'all can hear me clear.
Earlier. But it was earlier tonight.
Okay, how about on the YouTube? Can y'all hear me on the YouTube? Okay, Khan. Hallelujah. All right. If y'all see this artwork over my left shoulder, that was made for me by Sister Tamu Arnu. Okay. And she is a mixed media artist. Now you can't see it, but there are quills coming out of the canvas. And I want to try to demonstrate this. I don't know if it's going to work, but just to show you how creative this sister is, I want to try to demo this. Like I said, I don't know if it's going to work. We're going to try it. I don't know if it's going to work. All right. We're going to try it.
So I wasn't familiar with this very, very first portion of it. I was doing something.
Y'all see that writing on it?
While I was doing it.
Can y'all see that?
Well, it's all good. He gives some shine to a sister who did something nice. So
you need a black light to see it.
No sweat.
But it's a whole bunch of scriptures, right? How amazing is that? Okay. I just wanted to talk about that because I was talking about it in the video, how Hebrew Israelites, we need advocacy and we need to celebrate our own. Okay. Those 4 dots there are called the tetrapunctin. Somebody in the chat know what that is too. I seen it. The tetrapunctin. Okay. I'm not exactly sure if that's the correct spelling, but that's the right word. Okay. And that was what they would substitute the Lord's name with at one point because it became taboo to write the tetragrammaton out. So the scribes began to put 4 dots to represent the Lord's name. So it's a lot of history behind that piece behind me. Okay. So let's move on. Let's move on to class. If y'all coming from our live video to class, did y'all see how that video ended?
I didn't catch the live video.
Now we was just keeping it real. That's the name of the video. Can we keep it real with you? We was keeping it real on that camp video, just talking about how things go. And then the Most High made a scoffer manifest, and you saw how patiently we dealt with him. And then we moved on to the conversation of Esau is never patient with you. Not at your job, not at your school. And last, but definitely the least patient, the police. Not in the courtroom. They have no patience for you. Okay.
Yeah,
but they have so much patience for each other. And the reason for that is because they see the humanity in one another.
And that's how we got to be.
When he sees you, he sees a threat.
Right.
But when he sees another Edomite, it's just, hey, you don't know, he could have had a long day. This looks like a hardworking guy. He could be going through it on the home front.
Cut him some slack.
Hey, man, we ain't got to take him to jail. He reminds me of somebody I know. And look how that ended. In extreme brutality. In extreme violence, because they have a propensity to do that, but they're not stereotyped as that. But you stereotyped as lazy, even though you worked for half a millennium for free under brutal conditions.
Right.
But you called lazy.
Right.
You're called violent, even though every civil rights movement you've ever had was nonviolent.
Right.
But you're called violent. Yet you ask for rights in the most peaceful way known to mankind while having bricks thrown at your head and dogs sicked on you. But you're stereotyped as violent. But they bombed the whole planet.
Come on, man.
They have the highest death tolls on their ridiculous wars. But they're not stereotyped as violent. And that's just the way it goes, okay?
Exactly.
This is a wicked oppression. The Three Holy Children actually says that we are in captivity to the most wicked of all the earth, okay? And at his time, that was Nebuchadnezzar. In our time, it's Edom.
It's wicked people.
Okay? But we know the Most High is mighty to deliver, and his son is mighty to save.
He's able.
But we just wanted to be real with you. We wanted to keep a true reality in front of you, is they can see the humanity in one another, even if it means that they are going to get gunned, mowed down. Mowed down. I mean, if you watch that video again, how many shots was that? And those police officers will continue to extend that courtesy to their brethren.
Right.
And you, I don't care how patient and how soft you keep your voice, if you do not comply with their every demand, they will slaughter you.
They will murder you. Murder.
You will die.
They don't have a problem.
You are in danger presently. All right?
Murdering our people.
Let's get some scriptures. I worried about if I should post that video, because I was like, YouTube might take that down. But then it's just like, nah, man, we got to keep it a buck. All right? We got to keep it a buck. Shout out to all the YouTube members. Shout out to the Patreon members. Shout out to the Pillars of Rest. Thank you for supporting the body. Shout out to Captain Maikiah, who went into that video yesterday. Make sure y'all tune into Conversation for the Nation, because there's some things that we got to talk about. Make sure y'all watching that class. And also every Tuesday with Captain Dirac for Truth Tuesday. All right, we got lots of edification for you all throughout the week. All right, tomorrow at 12, you will have Bar for Bar with Captain Yaquab and Captain Aharon. Make sure y'all tune in for that. Okay. That's right. Tim Lawson said, Patreon gang. We got more content coming for y'all too. Okay. Hezekiah says, Sons of Thunder, in my opinion, is the most patient camp, but not soft ever.
That's not me, by the way.
I don't know if we're the most patient camp, but we try to be patient for sure. We try to be patient. Perfect Brand. I'm going to take questions after the lesson. Please hang around. I'll take your question during Q&A. Abishai says we need our sisters to understand the plight of the so-called black man because we are the primary target. Yes. And our women have become our enemies culturally.
Sadly.
I can't open Instagram without seeing a video of a black woman talking about how much less a black man is worth.
Right.
It's crazy.
It's absolutely,
that's on purpose.
Absolutely.
Weaving that into our culture. And then it's going to become the collective group thing. And we're going to have to fight for a mate. That's
kind. It's absolutely egregious. And I certainly agree with Adawan on that point. And these things need to be not had, especially among the nation of Israel, whether you're asleep or awake. You know, I shouldn't be running down brothers and sisters who not in the truth. I should be trying to build up and edify and wake up my people to get them in this truth, bring them to this truth so that they have the knowledge and the understanding and are prepared for the return of the Messiah. So that's the thinking that we need to be doing. So Adawan was talking about this video. Well, all praises to the Abba, I was able to find it here. We're going to jump to this video and see what it was he was talking about. So I'm going to put this in the description box, and we're going to see what this is about as well. So we're going to jump to this right now.
Another concept. You have to curate a concept to see why, to reason with why the scriptures say what it say.
Because you need it, like, for your mental to justify your life walk.
Right.
That's the major problem.
Come here to word, young brother.
Especially most of the ecumenical councils and their doctrines.
Bro, that make no sense to me.
I mean, the ecumenical councils, like all of them, we would have been annoyed with them. We're gonna have a council right now to decide the nature of Jesus Christ for what? For what? Wow. Let's just read the Bible. We're gonna have a council now to decide that the Trinity has to be law. Why were you doing this council? You know, that was the
and we would be put
first council of Constantinople. That's stupid.
And we would be put to death afterwards. Because that would
if we disagree.
Because that would become the prevailing doctrine. And to teach otherwise would be a heresy, and we would have to die, or we would be excommunicated.
Constantine had all the Arius, or Arianism, represents the teaching that Jesus Christ is subordinate to the Father, right? They call it Arianism. No, they got to put everything into a category, right? Constantine, after Athanasius and Alexander won the argument, not Athanasius. After the Alexandrine arguments prevailed, Constantine ordered all of Arius's, all of his books to be destroyed, and anybody having letters written to them by Arius had to bring them to be burned. And if you were found with a letter or a teaching of Arius in your possession, you were to be put to death. That's how the Trinity became the prevailing doctrine, and why you don't know the counter doctrine to it. And why the Hebrew Israelites had to raise up in the last day and contradict it.
Exactly. And which is why they call us heretics. What they take to be a heretic is to mean you're against God. But to be a heretic means you're against the prevailing doctrine
of the church. Read that Romans 10 4 and 10.
It's the book of Romans, chapter 4 and verse 10.
Back to what we was talking about.
How was it then reckoned when he was in circumcision or in uncircumcision? Not in circumcision, but in uncircumcision. Not in circumcision, but in uncircumcision.
No. You gotta read that again.
Yeah, read it again. Let me read it with him.
This book of Romans 4 and 10. How was it then reckoned when he was in circumcision or in uncircumcision? Not in circumcision, but in uncircumcision.
They're talking about Abraham, right? Who was given that covenant.
Yeah.
Read on.
And he received the sign of circumcision, a seal of the righteousness of the faith, which he had yet being uncircumcised, that he might be the father of all them that believe, though they be not circumcised, that righteousness might be imputed unto them also.
So the circumcision is an act, and it represents the covenant. These people that Paul is teaching have not gone through that act, but can still be righteous men. This is the gospel he's bringing to them. Read on.
And the father of circumcision to them who are not of the circumcision only, but who also walk in the steps that the faith of our father Abraham, which he had yet being uncircumcised.
So now they're saying, how can Abraham be counted for circumcision while physically being uncircumcised? Is a very competitive argument for people that are telling you that you must be circumcised to be righteous. To bring that up is a very competitive argument, right? So they'll probably argue, well, he later circumcised himself. They will argue that. But read on.
For the promise that he should be the heir of the world was not to Abraham or to his seed through the law, but through the righteousness of faith. For if they which are of the law be heirs, faith is made void, and the promise made of none effect, because the law worketh wrath. For where no law is, there is no transgression.
And that's the point. How can a New Testament author say, where there is no law, there is no transgression? Christians like to make the law ambiguous depending on what you ask them. When they want to criticize it, it's the law of Moses. When they have to agree with it, it's the law of Christ. Well, what law is this? Where there is no law, there is no transgression. What law is he talking about there? If you say the law of Christ, how would Abraham be under the law of Christ?
Exactly.
So that means where there is no law of Moses that you broke, you didn't sin. Which means that sin is defined by breaking the
laws of God, the laws of Moses.
It's right there.
And that's a cut to you who try to accuse Jacob of sin. Because where was that commandment given to Jacob? So again, the only way you can define sin is through the commandments of God given unto Moses. Abraham's circumcision of his flesh is just a keeping of the law, right? In today's terms, a keeping of the law. Because you have the laws of God that says, be circumcised on the 8th day. These men were not circumcised on the 8th day. So for them to circumcise their flesh, what did they keep that law? No, because the law says that they must be circumcised the 8th day. That's why Abraham is being taught to these men. Abraham was righteous before he was even physically circumcised. So it's teaching you something. That circumcision that Abraham went through was a signet of the covenant that he entered, right? With the Most High God. But your righteousness comes from what? The circumcision of your what? Your heart. And that's in the law of God. That's Deuteronomy chapter 10, right? Circumcise therefore the foreskin of your what? Your heart, right? Because in order for me to keep the laws of God and faith in Christ, I have to be changed where? In the heart. That means my evil ways have to be put aside. That means I repented from what? From sin. And what's sin? Transgressing God's law.
It's a lucky. And some of y'all are hypocrites in the first place because you teach to keep 9 out of the 10, and that's cool. And demonize the brothers that want to keep the commandments to the best of their ability. You demonize them by saying you don't have to keep the feast days, and if you try, you're evil according to God's standard. But isn't one of the commandments? Get Exodus first. Get Exodus 20. Because you want to go and say, oh, it's 9 out of 10, the ones that the New Testament teach. Let's go by that standard. Read this.
At the top. God, this is Exodus chapter 20 and verse 1. And Yahweh spake all these words, saying, I am the Lord thy God, which have brought thee out of the land of Egypt, out of the house of bondage.
Go ahead.
Thou shalt have no other gods before me. Thou shalt not make unto thee any graven image, or any likeness of anything that is in heaven above, or that is in the earth beneath.
All right, Salaki. Now we're going into the church today. We see graven images, and there are idolaters. Right? Because you go into a Christian church, and they do keep Christmas for effect.
Yes, they do.
Right? Now you're telling me we're supposed to love our neighbor as ourselves and love God. But the ways in which you love your neighbor, you find that in the laws of God. Right. If I love my neighbor, are you going to steal from him? No, you're not. Are you going to keep a grudge to him? No. If you break something that's his, aren't you going to restore it?
Yes.
Because that's the laws of God. Right. And a Christian would agree with all of those ethics, and they'll say, see, that's the moral love, right? But then how do you love God?
How do you morally love God?
Because if I'm finding the standard of loving my neighbor in the law, where do I have to find the standard of loving God? In the same place I got loving my neighbor. It don't. But you're trying to tell me that's not where you find.
Hey, you're gonna say that is the legalistic aspect, the legalism of the law. But the legalism, first off, what is legalism?
Right.
Legalism defines what's legal and what's not legal.
That was never made sense to me. You're a legalist.
Right.
Why would I want to be illegal?
Why would I not be a legalist? Because what's illegal? Is it illegal to covet?
Yes.
Is it illegal to commit adultery?
Yes.
But you call these moral laws.
Right.
So that's a legal aspect of the law. So to love your neighbor as yourself, is that legal?
Yes.
So that's legalistic.
Right. So like,
right?
Even if you want to use Jesus Christ and say Jesus Christ got his own different set of laws, those things you can't do them. Can't. Even if you want to use Jesus Christ, you still cannot, according to them, his laws, keep Easter.
Right.
Right?
Right.
Because what they do is say, oh, we're doing that, but we're doing it from knowing that it's deeply rooted in paganism and idolatry.
Right.
You know this already. Even Jake in 5 Points walking down the street know what Easter is about, knowing what Christmas is about.
Right.
But you are saying, I love God, but you're being an idolater.
Right.
You can't take a Satanist holiday and say, you know what? You can't take what they call that star?
The pentagram.
You can't put the pentagram on the ground and put some piece of chicken on there, or put your Bible in the middle and say, I'm doing this for Jesus now. You can't change the meaning.
No.
It don't work. But you're doing it with Christmas. You're doing it with Easter. You're doing that.
And at the same time, not keeping the feast days that God told you.
Right.
Because that was a good challenge. If to love my neighbor is defined by the laws of God given unto Moses, then how do I love God?
How I do that?
Because what you're doing is putting a separation between God's law and God's law. The laws of how to love my neighbor are moral laws. So because it's a moral law, I can keep that. But the commandments on how to serve my God, what feast days to keep, what I'm supposed to wear, those are legalistic laws. I don't have to keep that. But your argument breaks down. Every time. Because to be legalistic means you're keeping the laws of God. Right. You're doing things that are legal. So to sin, to transgress God's law is what? Illegal.
Go ahead. Oh no, I was just gonna say, and in that sense, you're saying that God's ways are unequal, because like you're saying, you're trying to pit God's law against God's law. Right. You're trying to make the Most High unequal, man.
And you're trying to make Christ an enemy to what God commanded. Right. Because to use Christ as a standard, you have to acknowledge what Christ did. Right?
Hey, this is a precept for that whole word of salad that he just tried to explain.
2:21.
Right? That whole ideology. It's Matthew 5:19. Okay. Whosoever therefore shall break one these least commandments and shall teach men so, he shall be called the least in the kingdom of heaven. But whosoever shall do and teach them, the same shall be called great in the kingdom of heaven.
Right.
So unless you're going to tell me that you're okay with just being the least, brother, then how are you going to justify telling somebody they ain't got to wear fringes? Even if it's one of the least commandments in the law, you got to recognize it and teach it to other people.
Right.
What is the classification? Because you got to have a Christian break these things down.
Got to.
They never will. What is the classification of a least commandment?
What does it mean to be least?
What's a less commandment? That's a good question.
What is that?
That's a good question. They don't know.
That's subjective.
It's very subjective, because what they'll say is you wearing those fringes, that's least. That's a least commandment. That's something that you don't have to do. But now we gotta examine something, because if your ministry is Christ, we have to read this scripture. 1 Peter 2:20.
Salaki, before you bring that out, you know what's not subjective? Being least in the kingdom of heaven.
Right. Because to be least in the kingdom of heaven means you're destroyed.
Come on now.
That we can prove that with Daniel chapter 9. Right?
12.
Salaki, chapter 12. Read that.
It's the book of 1 Peter chapter 2 and verse 20.
Yeah.
So verse 21, for here even unto were ye called, because Christ also suffered for us.
What did Christ suffer for you?
Yeah.
Were you called to repentance by Christ?
Wait. Why did Christ suffer for your what?
Your sins.
So that you can do what?
Repent and sin no more. Sin no more. But keep reading.
Yeah. Leaving us an example.
A what?
An example
Read.
that you should follow his steps.
So now the discussion is Christ and his example and what he commanded you to do. The Bible told you you're supposed to follow his example.
Mhm.
You're supposed to do what he did to be a Christ follower. Keep reading. What did he do?
Who did no sin.
He did what?
No sin.
Christ did no sin. No sin. That means Christ did not transgress the laws of God. So now what you have to say is the things that Christ, the example that Christ left for us was to live a sinless life. And to be sinless, blameless, is to not transgress the commandments of God. So now we have to ask you, if me being classified as a legalist is what's barring me from the mystery that is in Christ, which is that Christ is in you, and that Christ is the way to salvation, then that means I'm not supposed to listen to 1 Peter 2 and 21 and 22, which tells me to follow his example. Because a Christian has to be honest, right? What did Christ do to be called sinless? Kept the commandments. What commandments are those? Are those Christ's commandments that he kept? The laws of God. He kept the laws of God. I had a Christian tell me Christ being sinless was describing Christ being sinless according to Moses' law, but that's so that we don't have to do it. Well, if Christ being sinless is him keeping the laws of Moses, and that's what he did on the earth, and the Bible told you that the example you're supposed to follow is Christ's example of being sinless, then you're saying that we're supposed to be blameless according to Moses' law.
That's right.
Because that's what Christ did. So there is no way around it. If I'm supposed to follow Christ's example, that means I'm supposed to keep the laws of God given to Moses. Because that's what Christ did. That's what he did. So Christ wore fringes. Christ did not eat pork. Christ was not a homosexual. Christ did not reverence that there are three distinct persons that are the Most High God. Never did that. Because to do so would be what? Idolatry. So that means that's an example I'm supposed to follow. So you cut anyway.
Christ didn't even teach his own doctrine.
Right.
Precept.
Go ahead. You said that.
This is Matthew chapter 10 and verse 24. The disciple is not above his master, nor the servant above his Lord. It is enough for the disciple that he be as his master, and the servant as his Lord.
See? So if y'all disciples and servants of Christ, you have to be as him. That's the most important part about the walk of the Lord. Right. How you move. That's what sets you apart from these other people. Right. Not doing what they do. Right. What's the world doing? Sinning. Right. What do you do as a follower of Christ?
So if Christ made himself like a servant,
I was just thinking that.
Does that mean he is the servant or he's like the servant?
Hey, let me ask you something. Wait, he was a servant. Wait. So Christ is the Most High God, right? That's what you teach. Christ is the Most High God. So who is the Most High God's servant?
That's why he made himself like the servant, because he is the Most High God.
So who is he serving? As Christ is walking the earth as a man, he humbled himself and became like a servant. Who is he serving? He's serving who?
That'd be God. The Most High.
Oh, himself.
The flesh, the earth body.
The earth suit.
The earth suit.
So the earth suit that is also the Most High God, because that's the argument.
It's just the earth suit.
The Most High God, Christ is the Most High God incarnate. That means he's the Most High God in human flesh.
So it's an earth suit, and what's inside the earth suit driving it is the Most High God. That's the understanding.
Right, which means there is no person Jesus.
So there's no person Jesus, because who's driving that flesh is the Most High. So while the Most High God is driving the flesh, being a servant, who is he serving?
Who?
And there was no answer to
There's
that.
no answer to that because you're cut. You teach oneness, and we talking to a lot of you modern day oneness guys. You teach oneness, but oneness comes from oneness Pentecostal. Now, oneness Pentecostal teaches that there's only one deity, that is the Most High God, but he can act as three persons. Meaning, when Christ was born, the Most High God ceased to be the Father. He became the Son. Now that is the Most High God. He's on the earth.
That doctrine is crazy.
So there's no Father anymore. There's only Christ who is the Most High God.
The Most High God.
So then when Christ died and ascended to glory, he became the Most High God again. But Revelation chapter 3, verse 12. Read that.
I got a precept too. What about when Stephen saw Christ on the right hand of the Most High?
It's terrible.
Book of Revelation, chapter 3 and verse 12.
And then go to Captain Nehemiah's precept.
Verse 12. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God.
Who's speaking?
Christ.
Now Christ is speaking in Revelation chapter 3. This is after Christ's death, burial, and resurrection. This is after he ascended into glory. This is no longer Christ in his mortal form. He is no longer a human being.
Right, in the earth suit.
In an earth suit, according to you. He's in his perfect estate. Christ said what?
And he shall go no more out, and I will write upon him the name of my God.
So Christ in his perfect form just acknowledged that he has a God. Right. So if Christ is the Most High God, who is the Most High God's God? How you doing, family? How you doing, family?
You said Christ?
Do y'all believe in Christ?
Come talk to us.
Hey man, hey look. Read it again.
This is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 12. Him that overcometh will I make a pillar in the temple of my God.
Everybody, you believe in Christ? I ask you one question. All right, brother. That's it anyway. All right, read.
And he shall go no more out, and I will write upon him the name of my God.
So right here, according to your doctrine, the Most High God is telling you that he's going to write the name of his God on you.
Right.
So now the Most High God has a God.
Yeah, who is that?
Who is that?
There is no answer to that
It's
question.
Christ and God going back and forth.
The nature of the question.
The burden is because they're trying to teach the Trinity in another form.
That's a heavy burden.
It's your burden. I don't have that burden. I teach what the Bible says. There's one God, the Father, and one Lord, his Son, Jesus Christ.
That's it.
Give me Romans 8 and 12. Give me Romans 2 and 11.
21 first, that one.
8 and 12.
There's a book of Romans, chapter 8 and verse 12. Therefore, brethren, we are debtors, not to the flesh, to live after the flesh.
See, we're in debt because Christ died for our sin. We're debtors, but not so that we could continue to live after the flesh. That's all you homosexuals done right there. That's it. If you say Jesus Christ died for my sin, you're saying he died so that you can live after your flesh. Can't do that.
Can't do it.
Can't do it.
I Salaki, the one they think they're gonna be in the kingdom with their boyfriend, just listening to the Lord. Just me and my man.
That's what the Pope got them thinking.
Yeah.
Right.
Hey, and now we have to ask, what was the point of sacrifice?
What was the point?
Even in Moses' time. What was the point of sacrifice?
Apparently, because you could just do it again.
That you could just do it again, right?
Why did Yahweh flip over the tables? He said, "You've made my father's house of merchandise," because you selling these doves, because you found a way to monetize sin.
Right. And that's what the Christian church has done today.
TD snakes.
They monetize sin. The way that you're forgiven for your sin in your current lifestyle is by paying your tithes.
Yeah.
And Yahweh didn't pick up the money.
Didn't do it.
Flipped over the money changer's table and all the money fell, but him and the disciples didn't gather it up.
No. Yeah. They beat people out of God's house. And that's what's gonna happen.
Y'all won't do that in these last days. Y'all fiending for money. Even Judas, the Bible says Judas repented.
You do say that, and
nobody acknowledged that. The Catholics teach you that Judas is in hell, getting chewed alive by Satan, and then his body regenerates.
Scripture is that.
That's Dante's Inferno that they started to teach as doctrine.
Right.
Right? Now he did go kill himself, and that's off. And the Most High gonna have mercy on who he have mercy. Right. Even Judas put the money down. Even he put the money down.
Even he put it down.
Because his pastors will not put the money down. You collecting money from people you know that's sinners, like the Transformation Church.
How you doing, brother? What's going on, brother?
Yeah.
You want to discuss the Bible?
Yo, what you doing?
Come around this way.
Come on this way.
Come around the front, King.
People more interested.
What he said?
Okay.
You talk to any one of us. We the speakers.
What did I say?
What? Well, actually, I was in the middle of speaking, but do you want to talk to us?
Yeah.
You have a question or comment? Stay right there.
I have a question about what your ears inquired about what I said.
We didn't say you said anything.
We asked you something. We said, what do you want to talk about?
It's not initially.
Say what?
It's not initially.
We didn't say anything.
You weren't inquiring about that.
We didn't inquire about anything. Okay, brother?
I know what you're inquiring now. Okay, brother?
Well, I'm inquiring about something now. What's your name? What's your name?
Kashif
Kashif.
is Muslim. It means what? Strong leader.
Kashif, you're a Muslim?
No, my father named me that.
You believe in the Bible?
Yes.
You mean it's Arabic?
Yes. No, go home, clock out.
You need to clock out, twin.
Why you being so aggressive?
Because I am a king.
You need something?
Does that mean you have to be aggressive?
Yes.
Kings are majestic. They're diplomatic.
Mysterious.
It doesn't mean that
Did I inquire that off initial when you first met me?
Well, I'm not concerned on what you're inquiring.
Next question.
I'm stepping to you because I myself am majestic.
You're too hype. You're too hype. Have a nice day, man. Have a nice day. You're too hype.
King, I have to have a nice day.
Just go down the block with it.
You gotta go.
Please. Ask you nicely.
You understand? What's my name?
Just down the block.
I know that's down the block.
Can you go down the block?
Name, though. You don't even remember my name.
Yo, you too hype.
Just walk.
I am who I am.
Brother, you gotta go on your way. You gotta go on your way. Just walk. All right? It's all good. Just walk.
Have a nice day.
I am who I am. What's my name?
Guys, he ain't in this life.
Have a nice day.
Down the block.
That's probably what they told him. Clock out, go home.
Right.
Security.
It's sad. Our people are out here, and these demons are everywhere. And when Hamashiach healed so many people, I mean, it can't even be written in books how much work Hamashiach did when he was in the earth. The healing of the sick, the raising, just all the wonderful things that he did. And all these things he did in Jerusalem, not necessarily Jerusalem, but in the southern kingdom, where the Israelites were. He did some in Judea, in Samaria. Remember the woman at the well, the Samaritan woman. But there were a lot of instances where he was going around healing in the southern kingdom. And that's been the plight of our people from ancient times. Our people have had severe issues with battling demons. Demons have been attacking us and been on us and been haunting us since the beginning, since the very beginning. I wanted to bring that point out. Let's continue.
Guard him.
Hey, they put a hand on his shoulder. I'm gonna need you. Fuck out.
Brother's hurt.
They got a security badge.
They told him clock out, go home, because he drunk. Okay. Kashif.
Oh, brother, man.
Now the worst
Forgot what I was saying.
The worst
We was
part,
going into something.
the worst part about that interaction right there is that these demons have the confidence to come up on you. You got to know how to handle that, right?
That was a demon earlier. You told them to come by and
What
talk
if
to him?
that was
I know who y'all are.
What if that was the movie? What if that's why the camera crew was here, waiting for that moment, and we was gonna bust his ass, and they was gonna film it in 8K.
Of course.
And now that he left, they lifting up the crane like,
They ain't doing our job.
he ain't doing his job.
That's gonna put it in a music video, like Wu-Tang. All right, hey, look, we're not. Hey, what was your point?
I just think it's disturbing that, you know, if he saw about 8 white dudes standing here with the priest attire on, I don't think he would have done that. I just don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe the chief would have done that, but I don't see them doing that today.
Hey, whatever spirit is vexing him, its mission is to destroy that building. Yeah. So
That's it.
So
As we just had a conversation about being drunk.
yeah, that's all that is. These spirits that be on some of these people, it's purpose is to destroy them and whoever they can take with them. That's it.
It's also a test for us though, to make sure that we're not rowdy men that's just ready to riot in the street. You know, we ain't trying to put brothers to death for no reason.
Right, Khan. That's good attitude, indeed. Indeed. So let me just share a little bit of insight, if you don't mind. Yakazaki Yahu, I work in a psych office with psych doctors, psychologists, and it's seeing psych patients and to see them up close and to get to know a little bit about them, because I try to keep work separate from who I am and what I am. But to see these people, it makes me wonder, with the amount of people that we see, with the amount of patients that come into the office to seek help, medication, counseling, all of these type of things. How many of our people are on the street without getting anything? Because if Mashiach is not here casting out demons, Akeem not even on the street casting out demons. Akeem is telling brothers, get down the block, get off the block. You know what I'm saying? And that's not a dig against brothers. That's all we know how to do with it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know how to cast out a demon. You know, Hamashiach said that this come by prayer and fasting. So you got to be in such a high spiritual place, because you have to set yourself apart so much that you out looking for it. But, in this society, we consume with trying to maintain ourselves. I spend my time working, so I need fuel, and don't get me wrong, I'm not saying I can't fast. I can certainly fast. I do fast, and I don't have a problem with it. But the point of the matter is, and I need to fast. You know what? I need to do some fasting. I definitely need to do some fasting. Some more fasting, let me put it that way. I need to do some more fasting. But the point of the matter is, our people out here and they need help. And they're not getting help. They're not getting help because they're going into these clinics. And even though I work at this clinic, I don't work at this clinic because it's a clinic. I work at this clinic because they pay me. And that's my objective. I'm not handing out pills. I'm not doing anything to harm anybody. These people come in there, I'm not recruiting for them. I'm not saying come in here and sit down and talk to this person. I'm not saying take this medication that they're giving you. I mean, whether I'm there or not, they're going to come in there and do what they do. So that's what it is. But anyway, I did want to highlight that particular point. We got to learn how to deal with our people when it comes to these demons. All right, let's continue.
You know what I'm saying? We give brothers a chance. Hey, go about your business unless you want to learn of the Lord. Right. That's what we're here to do.
Right. Hey, y'all got a lot to say on the comments. You know what I'm saying? I have so much to say because how would you judge a matter like this? We've had people that come and throw things at us. We've had people that come and put their hands on. We've had people come and actually touch us. But we don't know. You criticize us as if we don't know how to handle situations. When these are situations you yourself don't have the answer.
Wouldn't even dream about it.
You know, I had two crackheads heating up. One put out a knife. Another crackhead coming to the back trying to steal our camera on the ground. And we just gotta continue on with the word of the Lord because they ain't touched nobody.
Let's move the canopy.
And you won't teach there.
And you don't know how to teach there. So as soon as that situation pop off, You ready to pull out your firearm and start dumping.
Right.
You're ready to start screaming and yelling and trying to inflict violence, and you putting everybody in danger. Y'all brothers do it swiftly and quietly.
Right. Continue on.
Yeah, y'all want some of y'all want an excuse. Y'all want an excuse to become a nigga real fast, right? And y'all don't have the patience nor wherewithal to teach in a place like that.
Because y'all really don't love black people. Hey, yo, hold it down. Y'all really don't love black people. I watched a video on Twitter, and I'm going to put it up. A cop is arguing with a drunk, intoxicated white man, 2 white people. The drunk, intoxicated white man walks up to the cop. Look, you're 5'7", I'll crush you. The cop laughs about it and goes to his friend. Yo, get him before I hurt him. The dude steps up again and tries to. So the cop pushes the dude and he falls. And his friend runs up on the cop. Why would you even do that? You hurt him. Black people don't understand that. I don't understand bucking up to the officer. I don't understand the officer having to ask one of my black friends to calm me down. I don't understand the officer pushing me and there's someone running up to him. Then after that, they shook hands. The big dude he pushed came and shook his hand and then said, you know I'll kill you though, right? And the cops still, it's like buddies, like they know each other.
We would have had the whole clip in this.
We would have been, now that same dude went home. Listen, I didn't make this up. That same dude went home, made a fake call to the police department of distress. And 3 other officers come to the house. And when he opens the door, he has the AR and he airs out the first 2 officers.
Wow.
Has a sidearm and hits the 3rd officer. The 3rd officer runs away, checks his wounds. The dude is still outside, making sure the other 2 officers are dead.
Wow.
And the 3rd officer has to shoot that guy and kill him. 3 white cops died because of a white guy. But because they treated him like a human being is why they died. Even though he was disorderly and completely out of order, they saw the humanity in him like, I can't just gun you down.
Yeah.
Yeah, I had to push you. Yeah, you threatening me. Yeah, we might fight out here, but you're another human being. They saw the humanity in that person, and he ended up being a violent, wicked offender like most of them are. But our people, we cannot argue with the police.
Nope.
We definitely can't buck them.
Or touch him.
We can't touch them.
Hey, how you doing,
And we can barely disagree.
Right.
I mean, our disagreements become shut up and arm bars and we on the floor.
Yeah.
And it shows you that they don't see the humanity in our people.
Right.
So for the comment section, even though that brother ran up, he's all in brother's face and he's disorderly and stupid, you think we just want to rush to stomp him out? No, we see the humanity in him.
Right.
We got sympathy for what he's going through. A lot of people out here are depressed, manic depressive, and they have psychosis and personality disorders.
Sick.
That's why it's very difficult for somebody to help them. So we see the humanity in them otherwise. We don't just want to beat them up to prove that we tough.
Right.
And that's why I said that the Hebrew Israelites need advocacy. We get a bad rap. A lot of people have an opinion on us, but there's no public relations for our side. And that's why y'all, the people, is so important. When we ask y'all to like a video, you're our public advocate. When we ask you to leave a comment, some positivity, that's because you are our PR. You are our public advocate.
Right.
Y'all take for granted how much we need y'all.
Stay right here. 100%.
No, he's fine.
Chill out, Nick.
They let fucking 5'7" motherfuckers be cops.
Dogs fucking
Get back,
Nick,
Nick, no. Yeah, see him alone.
Get back in your truck.
See? Yo, look what you did.
That's he's like a ninja.
He is. Nick,
He's like a ninja.
Nah, fuck you, dude.
passenger seat.
Dude.
Bro, I love this. You're a good guy.
I'm sorry. I did have a good night. Yo, I really want to hurt you right now.
Do you?
So back
Yeah,
up.
man.
I'm sorry.
Tell him to get in the passenger seat, buddy. Tell him to get in the passenger seat, please.
Like I won't.
He doesn't
see you
listen
from
to me.
800 yards.
800 yards. Stop.
Yeah.
SOT, could you move him?
I know
I'm
you're
fearing
not
for
wrong.
my life right now. Get back.
When they fear for their life around us, we die.
He's 23 years old,
Just
brother.
must be arrested for interfering, I think, at this point.
From 911, what's the address of the emergency?
It is 310 Redstone Hill Road. Your officers had an altercation with a man earlier tonight.
Right now.
Shots fired!
This is what Adawan was talking about. This is that video.
Shots fired! Shots fired! More cars! Send everyone!
We told them we told the dude he wanted to kill him.
Officer shot! Officer shot!
Well, unalive him, I said,
shot.
yeah, that's what Adawan was talking about right there, and that's what happened in that particular video. All right, I'm gonna leave that right there. I will feed them that oppress you with their own flesh, and they shall be drunken with their own blood. So that's what it is. All right, let's jump back to the other video and continue here.
That's why the truth is so important, because the women that understand the scriptures, they are not subject to those ideas. They're above it. That's why you want you a woman in the truth, a daughter of Zion,
right,
who knows her position in the household and takes pride in being what God called her to be, not what the world calls her to be.
Hallelujah.
But that don't change the fact that you still got to be a man, Jake, and you got to step it up. All right.
All right.
What about the sister who had the pot of boiling water? What was her name? The sister with the pot of boiling water. She called the police for help. She called the police for help. Sonia Massey, that's right. Sonia Massey. Now, this goes into seeing the humanity in one another. In the video I played in the prior class, if y'all didn't catch it, make sure y'all go back and watch that. As long as YouTube let that ride, I think somebody's watching our channel closely and they curating the information we put out, because certain lessons they don't want out, they block it. They say, y'all, you can't post this or we'll take your channel. But that's not by accident. Somebody's watching the channel and live critiquing what we teach. If you watch the video where the two sisters are fighting and go into the comments, there's a lot of white supremacists in those comments and a lot of fake comments about, well, SOT, this is the weakest camp. You brothers are evil. Why didn't you break up that fight? What they wanted us to do was stop teaching the Bible and intervene in a fight in a park where we teach at for years between strangers, making us the park police.
Right.
The park police ain't even intervene in that fight, but we supposed to do it. So what that means is we have to intervene in every physical altercation we see. That's hypocritical, and nobody's going to do that. And the people asking us to do that, I say the same thing on that video. When was the last time you broke up a fight between strangers you didn't know?
Right.
Forget the fact that we got people with us, women and children. They want us to leave our responsibility and go break up a fight between some wild Negroes in the street. No. What we're going to do is rebuke the hell out of them and continue on with the word of the Lord. All right. I don't care who don't like that. You go break the fight up, Superman. All right. Mess around and die out there in that park. And scriptures say meddle not in many affairs. And I could go on, but it's the hypocrisy of the people that's requesting that. They don't see the humanity in us. You see, to them, we're just chess pieces and they could march us off to die like pawns. You understand? Whereas my soldiers that do the work with me, they so valuable to me. It's no way that I could even get into an altercation and then jump behind them.
Right.
Ask my men. I'm the first person to step out if it gets stupid.
Exactly. Exactly.
You know,
That's
that's the mindset. My brothers mean the world to me. So y'all got to understand that. Okay. But to the other nations, they don't see the humanity in us.
No.
This woman, Sonia, she called the police for help. She thinks she got a home invader. And the cop is in her house. And instead of being comforting and professional, he's being a typical supremacist. All right. Good old boy. And he's talking to the sister like she's beneath him. They looking around the house, judging her situation, you know. And then I can't make out the audio too well. But the sister goes on to say, I rebuke you in the name of Jesus. And it was because of the energy coming off of that cop.
You know, I had a similar situation just last night, my last night at work at my full-time job. And I work at a call center there. And the lady called in and was just asking about the service being out. And I was explaining to her that, yes, the service is out and we're working on getting it resolved. She says, well, they've been working on getting it resolved for so long. Why haven't they gotten it resolved yet? And I said, well, what happens is they work on a certain piece and anticipate that this is going to resolve the issue, and it doesn't. So they have to start working on something different. Much like if you take your car to a mechanic and the mechanic says he'll fix it and works on a certain component, and come to find out that's not it. And something else exists. And instead of the lady taking my example and being thankful that I went, you know, that route to give her that kind of insight, she want to flip it on me like it's like I'm something wrong with me. Talking about, well, I have a reliable mechanic and I have a dependable car. Like, what you calling here for then? Go call your mechanic and go see if he fixed the doggone service that you want to use. Go get in your dependable car and go somewhere where you can use their dependable service. Since you're so concerned about your service, you calling in here and want to talk reckless to me. I'm here trying to help. And instead of you taking my help, you trying to belittle me. Like I don't have what I need to have. I'm not the one calling in for help. You are. I'm the one helping. I get paid to do this. You calling in, you paying to hear this information. And it made me so angry at the audacity of this foolish woman who would speak reckless like this to a man with a voice like mine. You know good and well by my voice, I'm a man among men. You know good and well by my voice that I'm not somebody you would try to push over or somebody you could talk any kind of way to. But yet she ignored all of that. And at the safety of the phone, you know, she felt like she could just say whatever it is she wanted to say, even though I'm just trying to help. I got so mad, I just had to stop. I just had to knock off for the night. It's ridiculous. Let's continue.
Well, he tells her, turn off that pot in the kitchen. It's boiling. She goes to do it. And I think she made a comment. I think she said, I should throw this boiling water on you. Because he said something that was profane to her. Now, she wasn't really going to do it. But the black woman, the way she talked, she forgets herself sometimes. So she was just like, I ought to throw this boiling water on. You know how they get sassy, right? That cop said, no, you won't. I will shoot you in your effing face. So to her, what was, I'm being sassy, talking my junk that I talk. To him, it was, you're a threat. I'll kill you.
Never invite the devil to your home. Never invite the devil to your home. Don't you ever invite the devil to your home. I'm speaking here to my people. Let me tell you about a situation I had as well. This is about a previous job. So this was some years ago. I was working at a job and it was about time for me to get off. Like a cat that I was working with, he got off like 2 hours before I did. When I was getting ready to leave, he was still at work because his wife had to come pick him up. She had the car. So he trying to tell me like I'm gonna come, like I'm gonna give him a ride. Nah, I'm not gonna give you a ride. I'm not going that way. I said, you can't get on the phone every time I call, it just ring, 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 and then it goes to voicemail. And I said, man, you white. Call the police and tell them to go to your house and check on your wife. And he was like, I didn't even think about that. Like, yeah, you can do that. I, on the other hand, wouldn't do that ever, because that would probably be the end of my wife. And guess what happened? He called, they went, knocked on the door. She woke up, went to the door. They told him that he was trying to get in contact with him. She called him, said she was on her way, got in her car, and came and got him. That's it. Nobody got shot. Nobody got taken to jail. Nothing bad happened. He couldn't get a hold of his wife because she was asleep on the bed. And the police came and knocked on the door to see if she was all right. And she was all right. She was just asleep. And once she realized that her husband was looking for her, she was able to resume with regular business. So-called black people, you call the police, they're going to come and kill you 9 times out of 10. They're going to come and shoot you. Don't do that. Don't fall for that trap. I just got to deal with it. Either I'm going to handle it myself, or I'd rather deal with the bad guy than deal with these other people. Because these other people, at least if a bad guy killed me, it's murder. These other people kill me and hold themselves not guilty. Let's continue.
But when you watch the previous video from the camp video I just showed,
right, I was wrong.
The white man was like 6'5", menacing over the cop who was like 5'7". He made a comment about the cop's height and then said, "I'll kill you." And the cop laughed. Like, man, you just talking. Why didn't that cop laugh at that woman? Ah, man, you just talking. Then this big giant cop in the house with a woman who's 26 feet away, holding a pot that she's not strong enough to throw across the room. And all he got to do is back up to the door. He drew down on her and said, "I will kill you. I will shoot you in your face. Don't threaten me." She said, "Oh, I'm sorry." And all she had on was 2 oven mitts. She put the pot down.
You know, all he had to do if he was a man was leave. If I was in that situation and something like that happened, I would just leave. I would just excuse myself. All right, Dan, I see you all right, so I'm going to move on about my business. Have a good night. Shalom. And I would have been up out of there. But not this devil. Let's continue.
The cop told her to drop the pot. She put I don't know what she could do. I don't have the pot no more. And while she was on the ground in a position where she cannot throw boiling water on him, he leaned over the counter and shot her right in the face, not even in the leg, arm. He didn't even shoot the pot so that the water splashed on her. No, he executed her. And that's because they do not see the humanity in you. You're just a threat. You're a roach that they got to spray Raid on.
They don't give a damn about.
And that's why race relations in this country are so ridiculous.
They don't give a damn about our people.
Absolutely ridiculous. And then you have no advocate. You don't have a civil rights advocate. You don't have a political figurehead to advocate for the value of your life. You got Kamala Harris saying on camera, "You know, I make a good pot of greens." One time we had to make so much, we had to clean them in the tub.
What the hell is that? What the hell is that? What kind of foolishness? What kind of damn idiot will say something that atrocious, egregiously stupid to some people that they have no legitimate connection to. That is a goddamn shame. And I am offended and appalled that any idiot would say something that damn stupid concerning me and my people. And yet our people will stand and advocate for her like she is something that we should all be proud of. Man, get out of here with that foolishness. That is foolishness. That is offensive. That is so offensive. Cleaning collard greens in the tub. I make a mean pot of greens. Nobody asked you about no damn greens. Dumb it.
What? My mother makes a great pot of collard greens, and she has never put them in the bathtub. That's disgusting. But to relate to you, this woman says those things. That's showing you what they think of.
It's ridiculous. That is purely.
They think so little of you.
Purely offensive. Any Negro around her.
I'm humiliated. They think so little of you that instead of saying, here's why you should vote for me. Here's what I'm going to do for you.
I didn't even know that.
And why you need to give me your vote. She says, I make a good pot of greens.
A damn pot of greens.
And then you have black people who will curse you out because you're not on board with Kamala.
Man, to hell with Kamala.
They'll curse you.
To hell with Kamala. I didn't even know about that.
What a sad state of affairs. The condition of our people is humiliating. And to talk about it makes me feel bad because when you understand the corporate and political climate, they think so little of you. And the ones of you that think higher, it's not enough of you. It doesn't matter that you realize that we think so little of you because the masses of you, look how stupid they are. And that hurts me. Hillary Clinton making a comment about keeping hot sauce in her purse. Where did this white woman figure out that you would feel that comment was relatable?
I told her to drop to the ground. So funky behind up out of here. That stupid mess.
It's embarrassing. You wouldn't even let a white person at your job talk to you like that. Hey, Joel, you know, I keep some hot sauce in my purse. I'd be like, why do you do that?
Like, who the hell? Why are you talking to me?
And then immediately I'm hostile.
I'd be like, why are you talking to me? Who told you to talk to me?
You gotta want to serve the Most High. Because you can't, you're in a trap. Your reality is a trap. It don't make sense.
You better get out of my face.
You gotta want out of this. Or you could delude yourself and try to be happy in it and like try not to think about it, but it's everywhere. It follows you, you know. I'm not trying to, it's the Sabbath. I'm not trying to bring everybody down, but the name of the last video was, can we keep it real with you? And I'm still in that spirit. Like, can we be real about that? Like, you know, I make a good pot of greens. But what are you going to do about the salary gap between the blacks and the whites in this country? Obviously, we're at the back of the line because everyone else had a head start in building companies. Yes, we can make a company. No, we don't have the major corporation power. So we have to compete at our level, but we can't compete on the Fortune 500 level. Only a few of us make it to that level, and their priorities are not to do for us. Their priorities are to prove to you that they're one of you. This is a huge problem. White people don't become rich to prove to black people that they down. They don't do that. But black people become rich, and then their whole agenda becomes, I'm going to prove to white people that I'm not bitter about slavery, and I can go to their parties too. Kamala Harris said, no, I'm not gonna do anything specifically to benefit black people. I'm not gonna say that. But then at the same time says, I completely support Israel,
right,
and a budget for their defense.
Right.
Well, that's something specifically for Israel.
Everybody but
you're doing something specifically for another country.
You can support everybody but so-called black people, because somehow, some way, black people are the enemy in the earth. You can support everybody else, but when it comes to black people, no, I can't give you specific report. But I need your specific.
I get it. They're your allies. We're citizens of your country. Israel don't pay taxes to America. We do. You're not going to represent me. You're not going to do something specifically for me when you can see the wealth gap, the housing gap problem that was illegally created, and the fact that corporations got ahead of us by centuries and was able to hire their own through nepotism and build generational wealth, and we was barred from that, and now we try to fight to get in it, and then you take away affirmative action. You're not going to do nothing specifically for us. Well, so why should we vote for you? And it empowers Trump on the other side. It empowers Trump to say, hey, you're going to vote for the lady because she's black, or you're going to vote for me because I saved us $1.6 billion. Oof. He's talking spicy. We don't even got to get technical with Kamala Harris not really being black, because we tried to do that with Obama. He ain't really one of us. That's Ham. His agenda was homosexuals got a lot of benefits. It's true. By allowing them to get married legally, they achieved billions of dollars in tax benefits per their family when you added all up the numbers. Something that they didn't have access to, or the health care of being a spouse. They didn't have access to that, but he did something specifically for them. The person who told you she'd make a good pot of greens told you she's not going to do nothing specifically for you, but still vote for me. Joe Biden, you're not black if you don't vote for me. And Charlemagne and Envy and them is laughing at that. That hurt me. Like, this dude don't have no shame. He don't feel like he got to talk to us right because they think so little of you. They think your intelligence is so low. See, the name of the class is Opposition Concerning Paul, but I always throw you a curveball and talk about something else. So you got to be tuned in to get these conversations.
And that's why I wanted to bring this part. I wasn't even overly concerned with him getting into the lesson because it's long, so I wasn't going to even do the whole thing. I really just wanted to do the intro because it was so dynamic when he first started talking about it, and I didn't even think about jumping to the other video because I wasn't even privy to the other video. But yeah, we got into that to see a little bit of it, the humanity of that we should exude on our people, and then how that had cost them by doing that. But it's so offensive to think that this is how they want to talk to us. That's like somebody coming up to me and saying, hey, I got a basketball. I hate that question. You play basketball? No. Get away from me. Let's continue.
They think so little of you, you know? And I always say this, if you're a politician, you can't run on a platform where you're saying, I'm going to do some specific things for black people. I don't care what y'all talking about. They need it. They deserve a slice of the American pie. They built this country through wicked oppression. Nobody will discuss it that way because you're going to turn off millions of white people who think they're not racist. It's millions of white people that actually believe that they're not racist. They don't think they're racist. They feel like I'm just a fair American citizen. Don't play the race card with me, bucko. And then they're able to accept, I'm going to do something specifically for Ukraine. I'm going to do something specifically for Israel. Right. I'm going to do something specifically for gays. I'm going to do something specifically for Jews. I'm going to do something specifically for Asians.
Not black
but people. They will not accept you saying, I'm going to do something specifically for blacks. And these same people think that they think of themselves as not racist. I'm going to do something specifically for Mexicans. What? You're going to do what? Nah. And this same person will look you in the face and tell you, I'm not racist.
Right.
My best friends are black. All right, we go to football games together. We dance to Drake when we party at my house, okay? I listen to the hip hop. It's these kind of guys. And then you have this stupid, goofy underling whites who are like my generation, Generation X, and they think they're not racist. They think they down, and they don't even see color, but they damn sure will not accept you saying, as a politician, I'm gonna do something specifically for black people. They're gonna throw their hands in the air. I guess it's gonna help Tyrone. What about me? I'm struggling. That's how they think and talk. And these people in their own mind have resolved, I'm not racist. Now look, me, I'm racist if I want something done specifically for me. But they're not racist if they can watch things be done specifically for themselves and for other denominations. But don't you say black, Hispanic, or Indian. You do something specifically for them, like, come on, man. That's where my tax dollars are going. There are white people married to black people who are racist.
Right.
And they have convinced themselves and a black spouse that they're not racist. Right. Who have that mind state. And it's nobody that can speak on. You can't win the election by saying, yo, black people have been mistreated in this country for too long. You have to be a hypocrite not to notice it. Sonia should not have been killed. The reason she was killed is because black people are seen as less than in 2024 and on into the future. I'm not going to stand for it. Black people are going to have equal footing in this country. I'm going to demand it. Matter of fact, I'm going to make it happen. It's going to be at the top of my agenda.
Police reform.
Do you know you just lost the election no matter how good of a politician you are for saying that? You just lost the election. Black people are no longer going to exploit themselves on social media and music. I'm going to outlaw that. They have a depraved culture. And their hip hop and media culture is not run by them. And people are exploiting them for money. And they have no other options but to turn to these things because they're trying to get out of abject poverty. Well, I'm going to give them an alternative so they don't have to exploit themselves like that. And I'm going to give benefits to people who give real opportunity to black people. I'm going to give government subsidy to people who give real opportunity to black people. And for everybody that's exploiting black people and making a mockery of them in pop culture and on the public stage, putting out artists like Sexy Red and the rest of these ignorant fools, well, you're going to have great penalty for that because I'm going to outlaw that type of content.
Right.
Didn't Trump say he want to get rid of TikTok? That was fine. I'm going to get rid of content that exploits black people and makes them look ridiculous.
See what happened.
Because you're taking advantage of the poor. I'm going to outlaw that. Our country's going to be upstanding across the board.
Right.
Black people don't deserve to be humiliated anymore. You lost. By talking like that, you lost.
Sidebar. I found out from work, not my own volition. I found out from work that several states have blocked accessibility to adult entertainment sites. Adult entertainment websites are not accessible in certain states. You can Google it. Certain states do not have access to adult entertainment. So if you live in certain places, you won't be able to get adult entertainment. And guess what? More states are in the process of outlawing adult entertainment. So somebody feels like the people are becoming degenerates and they think that adult entertainment is harming them. So they are put in place in a democracy. They have put in place the inability for an adult to be able to access through their own means adult entertainment. That is some sci-fi type stuff. That don't even seem like that's real, but that's 100% real. Let's continue.
But shouldn't we talk like that? Isn't that the person you should give your vote to, Black America? The person who speaks that way. Right? Ain't no budget behind that. Kamala Harris, let me tell you something. What I just said, Kamala Harris, if she was running against me, she would try to destroy me. She wouldn't say, damn, that brother's powerful and he loves his people. I'm Black. I make a good pot of greens and he loves his people. I respect that. I ain't going to step on his toe. No, she wouldn't. She'd try to destroy me.
Mm-hmm.
But does she try to destroy the politicians on the opposite side who are obviously racist? No, she can't bring herself to say those words. She has to dance around. But that's because she can't win. Even the Democratic Party is racist.
Right.
Even the white people that she's trying to attract are racist. They just think they're not. And this is the condition of the battle, y'all. That's the reality of the situation. You know who you got left? The Israelites. That's who you got left.
That's it. That's it.
The only people that care about you specifically and make you the priority and put you at the top of the list. And you get called racist for doing that.
Who cares? I'll take that. Okay. Who care about the Israelites or who care about so-called Black people? Yahuwah, Bahashem, Yahushua, Hamashiach. You can call him Yahweh, you can call him Yahuwah, whatever you want to call him. But he is an advocate for the Israelites as well as the Hebrew Israelites who are working tirelessly to do well for our people. We are your advocates. And I stand with these brothers who advocate for so-called Black people. I stand with these brothers. I don't care what representation they have. You can call them camp brothers. You can call them congregation brothers. You can call them assembly brothers. I'm going to call them brothers because they out here for our people. And I'm with that. Let's continue.
Okay. Judaism puts the Jew at the top of the list. They get respected for doing that. Israelites put you at the top of the list, and we get called racist for doing that. Judaism teaches that they're the only people that's getting salvation, and the Messiah is for them. They get called a nation for doing that. Israelites teach that salvation is only for you, and the Messiah is only for you. And when I say you, I'm speaking of our collective. We get called racist for doing that.
Khan, that's exactly correct. The so-called Jews believe and have documented that they will rise to power and that the nations, the other people, the Goyim, will serve them. That is their understanding. That is their doctrine. That's because that's what's written in the text. But that's not written about them. That's written about us. This text says specifically that we, the Israelites, the Yahudim, the Yehowadim, will rise to power along with our brothers of the rest of the nation, of Israel. The other 10 tribes or the other 9 tribes will rise to power. 10 tribes, because you got to include Dan in it. And that is who we will be dealing with. And that is who the Most High is a component of. And Messiah is a emissary of. And I believe that, and we believe that. And there's nothing wrong with that, because that's what the text says. So I stand on that.
Judaism teaches that each Jew will have 8,000 slaves of the heathen. They get ignored for saying that. Hebrew Israelites teach that Isaiah 14:1 says, all these nations that oppressed you, you are going to possess them. The Bible says it. You get called racist for reading that out loud.
Right.
It's the reality of the situation.
Right.
So you got to want out. There's no healing this. This matrix of America is designed to destroy you. It was never designed to benefit you. The founding fathers of America did not come over here to make the black man equal with him.
Right.
They didn't put you in a boat and chain you up and give you sores and lesions and tetanus wounds to bring you here to set you up next to them with his arm around you. That was never the plan. And don't you understand?
Never. Never.
And if you understand that, you got to want out.
That's why scattering was such a harsh penalty for not keeping the commandments. That's why he warned us in Deuteronomy 28 and Leviticus 26 and through the prophets that these things would happen to the children of Israel if you do not keep my word. If you don't do what the Most High Power says do, you're going to get punished. And part of your punishment, you're going to be scattered among the nations. When I scatter you, it's going to put you in the worst possible situation. Our people still did not adhere. Still didn't listen. Let's continue.
Only way out is in. Into what? Into the truth, man. The truth made me, being a buffoon Negro and an enemy to my own people, it made that against my religion.
We don't do religion.
The truth made me desecrating and disrespecting my community against my religion.
All right. So what the Adawan is saying here in this, I'm not gonna have to put words in his mouth, but what he's saying is it gave us a culture that made that unreasonable. It's unreasonable in our culture to operate in that manner. Not religion, because he's just trying to put it in words that you can understand. But he could have used the word culture. That's the word I prefer. I never reference religion. I don't claim religion. Religion is some man-made garbage. We have no religion. The Israelites, being an Israelite is a nationality. It is not a religion. We are descendants of the children of Israel, Jacob. We are his descendants, or Yaakov. We are his descendants. That is not a religion. I did not have to raise my hand and say, I accept the responsibility of being in this particular group. I didn't have to do that, because the covenant that when Moses sprinkled the blood on the Israelites, that covenant did that for me, which means I am not a part of a religion. I am a nation, a part of a nation. So that's the difference. And I wish the Adawan would advocate for it like that. But I understand where you're coming from. And that's not enough to make me be at odds with the brother. I just want you to understand the way it should be explained.
The truth opened my eyes and made it impossible for me to be a coon.
Right.
That's not to say that the white man can't run down on me and torture me and destroy me and threaten my life or the ones I love. But that's oppression. I'm saying willfully, you can't make me. I'm not gonna willfully be a coon. I refuse. That's disgusting to me.
And no people can run down on the children of Israel because we have an advocate, we have a deliverer, we have a savior, we have a protector, we have one who provides for us, and his name is Yehoshua HaMashiach. You can call him Yahushua HaMashiach. He is our Messiah. He is the Messiah and King and our Redeemer. And he is advocating for us. I believe every day that I'm being watched. I'm being watched out for that. The path is cleared for me, and no devil under Shamaim can harm me because I have full belief and full faith that the Most High and the Messiah are carving the way out for me because it's been too good for my situation. It's been too good. And the Abba has always been there for me. Always. And I'm so thankful because I honestly could not earn what the Abba has given me. I couldn't earn it. He gives it to me because he's good, because of his grace, because of his mercy. And that's why that's why it is imperative that I walk in the way that he has set forth for me. And I walk this thing out. And I can never quit on the Most High. I can never quit on Hamashiach because I know what they've done for me. And I can never turn my back on somebody that's been that good to me. Let's continue.
I love my people, and I'm going to speak up for them. If I got into politics running my family. If I got into politics, I have to run on the platform of Black people need something specifically for them.
Kind. And this is why Akazaki Yahu, I got a special thing coming. Not today, not tomorrow. In the coming time. It's going to be a few years from now. But Ya'ak is going to bring out something so special. You're not going to believe it. It's going to be amazing. And I'm doing this specifically for my people. Let's continue. Most I willing.
Y'all are too busy with y'all corporate agenda. Do that. You're going to be successful. Allow me to care about Black people. I don't need to be the president. I don't need to be mayor. Find me a role in City Hall where my job every day is to come to work and make Black people's lives better and pay me to do that. Because I do it for free now. But if I was in politics, that's what I would say. Ain't no office. That's racist to say that. I want to make Black people's lives better. Racist. Oh, the Mexicans are coming and taking Black jobs. Maybe they are. You can't call the white man racist, but let the Black man speak up, man. Your forefathers was getting bottles broken over their head to eat at the same restaurant with these people. Do you see the fight we was fighting? We was trying to be with them. And they was like, no, I don't want you with me. Why do we think that changed?
Now we can't get rid of them.
Oh, John F. Kennedy, Jimmy Carter.
We can't get rid of them behind.
What?
They want melanin so bad. They want to marry into the melanin.
Slovakia, Captain Mike High sent me something.
They want to marry into the melanin. They want the women and
damn,
marrying into the melanin.
He just showing me how the White House is ran. Like it's a plantation, man. CNN is in Atlanta, up the street from where we teach. They have never brought their cameras and said, here's the message of the Hebrew Israelites in the local community. Racist cult? Let's see what they really say. They would never, because we're just going to keep it real with you for a minute.
Right.
And America need to hear what I'm saying right now, what the Israelites and all the camps are saying. Okay.
That's why I'm rebroadcasting this message here. This is why we do this. When these things come out and it convicts you, you're supposed to share it. You're supposed to get people to see it. And I know it's late at night. I pray somebody see this and pass it along. Whether you rebroadcast it like I am or you send in a link, however you do it. That's why I put the link in the description box. Continue.
Okay. Because it's fact. All right. It's unadulterated, uncut fact. And, you know, that's the reality of the situation. You got to want out. When the Most High turns this place upside down, we're going to be as those that dream, is what the Psalm says. Because I cannot imagine a way out of this place. It's only going to get worse. My son got to grow up in a world.
It's only gotten worse.
Where gays have been given so many rights. Listen to me. Gays have been given so many rights that they've become powerful. And in those rights, they have allowed children to change their sex. These same children are not old enough to get into certain movies.
But they can change. They
think about it. The same society that say you're not old enough to watch this movie without parental guidance. We can't sell you this ticket, but I can sell you a sex change. This place has become that hypocritical. My son got to grow up in that world. And then me, I got to go about my life with the stigma that I cannot be sincerely professional and serious without white America feeling like I'm angry or dangerous, which limits me in the professional space. The only way for black people to get out of the grind is entrepreneurship.
Right.
Like we can't do it through the corporate ladder. We can't go to school, get the grades, go to college, get the grades. Okay, where's my job? You got to be a certain type of person to get this job. But wait, I'm qualified. I don't feel comfortable working with you. But they won't say that. But they're protected by right to hire.
That's all right.
And because there's no more affirmative action, which only really benefited the white woman.
But that's all right. That's 100% all right because, again, we have an advocate. Hamashiach is our advocate. And I'm going to tell you something. When you get into this thing for real, when you get down for real, I'm not talking no funny business. I'm talking 100% real. When you get down, you'll be amazed at what Hamashiach will do for you. You'll be amazed at what the Most High will do for you. Listen, I was driving to work yesterday, and out of nowhere, a vehicle pulled right out, like they was trying to hit me. They couldn't get close to me. Not because Hasaki Yahoo is such a magnificent driver, but because the Most High was right there with me. Whether he sent one of his messages, whatever he did, he made it happen. Not only did I not get hit, not only did I not get hurt, I was able to continue and make it where I was going while I was doing what I was doing. So our advocate is right with us. We don't have to go through the corporate ladder. The corporate ladder gonna have to come to us. That's what's about to happen. It's just a matter of the Most High putting it in place. Because he didn't wake us up for no reason. So I don't need I don't need their corporate nothing. I'm gonna do what I gotta do because the Most High has made it so. But believe me, when it's time, they're not gonna even know why they're doing what they're doing. Because the scriptures say man's going is of Yahuwah. How can a man then know his own way? How he gonna know what he doing? How he gonna understand why he doing? Man, why am I pushing this guy's resume to the top of the list? Why am I bringing him in for an interview? This somebody else could use this job. But no, because the Most High have made you to look for me, because he is my best interest. He is my best advocate, and he's gonna make it happen. And I'm 100% certain of that. Let's continue.
Because there's no more affirmative action, they are not tariffed to hire you. I believe I got a lot of jobs in the industry I work in because of affirmative action, because I'm not the typical that you see in that industry. And I don't want to be. I don't want to go to lunch with you. I don't really want to know you like that. I want to do a great job, though. I want to listen to you and give you exactly what you asked me for. And once I get a mastery of this workflow, I might go above and beyond like anybody else. All right. And then they're going to try to brainwash you like, no, that's not the way corporate America works. You hostile in the workplace. Hold on. All my bosses have been white males and white females, and they don't want to go to lunch with you. They don't want to eat with you. They don't want to meet you. They don't want to talk to you too much. And they walk around the office with a scowl, demanding things. But they're not hostile. Nobody's afraid of them. That's actually a great hire, a guy like that. But if I'm like that, I got to have a meeting with HR. Is something wrong? You know what that does? That really pisses you off, man. Then you get mad for real. But then you got to say, well, my livelihood or my pride. And America makes you choose. That's the condition of the battle as a black man in this world. And sisters, y'all got to see that for us. They'll promote you fast and then turn you into a bulldog and make you our enemy and use you to fire us. Because nobody wants to advocate specifically for the needs of the black man and black woman in this country, because that's not politically correct. It's not politically correct to be for you. So what politics? Why are you in politics? Why are you voting? Why is the Divine Nine, the Alphas, the Kappas, the Qs, the Sigmas, the Iotas, the Zetas, the AKAs, the Deltas, and the Sigma Gamma Rhos? Why are y'all coming together to make sure Kamala Harris become president?
Whatever.
Then what?
Whatever.
After she become president, then what?
She washing greens in a damn bathtub. What the hell ever? You come together for that foolishness.
Hey, Blue, right? Y'all gonna be doing all of that. Because I come from that world. Y'all gonna be doing all of that, and then you graduate and you broke. And Kamala don't give a damn about you. She focused on Israel. Or whatever conflict breaks out in Europe, sticking her nose in that with her white husband. But thanks for getting me elected and getting me the black cop.
It's really sad because our people feel so required to advocate for everybody else. Everybody else got to have something. Look, you can do it too. You can be like me. Yeah, you don't have no rhythm or no soul or no nothing else. But look, you can do this. Look, watch me do this. Watch me. Watch my feet. Watch my feet. Look, just move your feet like this. Move your feet like this. I can't move like that. Come on. You can do it. Look, do it. Watch my feet. Watch my feet. Watch my feet. We got to advocate for everybody else, but we can't advocate for ourselves. It's completely and utterly sad. It's completely and utterly sad. We got to learn to love ourselves. Listen real quick. In the financial world, anybody who teaches anything about money, the first thing they're going to teach you is you have to pay yourself first. You have to care about yourself first, and therefore you have to pay yourself first. Every nation under the sun has to care about themselves first. They will make conflict, war, or be a savage with anybody else, but themselves they have to keep for themselves. except for black people, so-called black people, not so-called black people, so-called black people have to do it for everybody except so-called black people. And that's a doggone shame. Let's continue.
College youth vote. Because you ain't black if you don't vote for me. And what I'm saying is like a party pooper. I'm negative. My own people will be angry at me for the way that I'm talking. Instead of saying, yo, he's right. What you going to do for us?
Right.
You can have our vote, but this is our list of demands.
Can't have my
because
vote.
Biden promised a lot of things and didn't deliver. So if you picking up where he left off, that's 8 years. We need some things done for us. All right, because we're struggling out here after COVID. We need something. Well, what do you want? First of all, there got to be laws passed for our protection when it comes to the police. Well, y'all just gonna run amok if I do that. She will say that about you. You'll find out what she really think about you. She gonna. Hey, listen. I know some of you young college black people's watching this stream. She gonna go to your college on her campaign and grab that microphone and sing you a sweet lullaby. Which one of y'all gonna have the cojones to ask that question that I'm asking? What you gonna do for us? Your friends is gonna be mad that you asked that. Don't say that. Kamala came to our school and you said that. That's why I don't like you. But they're stupid, Ak. Be a leader. You're not gonna relate to dummies. Which one of y'all gonna ask, what you gonna do for us? And where you was at all last term? You ain't step up now once to say nothing. You disappeared. And this dude was senile. We all seen it. Y'all was asking us to pretend like we don't see that. Y'all had Plies on Instagram. How much are y'all paying Plies? You know we don't listen to Plies, right? He's just a rapper. Our politics it comes down to money, finances, and opportunity.
Right.
What you gonna do for the housing for us? Can you make it easier for young blacks to get housing? Can you lock in some interest rates for black people?
What you
based on the disparity of wealth?
Rent is out of control.
It's racist to ask that. And you live in a fantasy world, but that was done for people. Okay. You was redlined. Other people was given credit, especially if you got married. Who gonna do it? You're gonna get booed out of the place, but are you gonna do it? Yo, we don't care about collard greens and hot sauce, Miss Harris. And don't patronize us over here. We're not those kind of people. You're talking to intellectuals here. We represent the collegiate force of black people coming out into the world.
You're talking to a nation of people. That's what you're talking to. Talk to us like you talk.
It's more and more difficult to get corporate jobs for us. Can you make some mandatory programs that if we fulfill and check all the boxes, we can walk into some high-paying corporate jobs that we're qualified for? Give us that advantage. Make it our job to meet the criteria, but make the program possible. Would you do? I can't do something like that. I can't do that. I can't do that. So why should I vote for you? What can you do? Well, I'm not going to do something specifically for black people. And then you're going to find out quick that ain't nothing going to change no matter who's the president.
Nothing.
You're going to be in the same predicament.
It's all a sham.
All right, fine. You can't get us no money, but you can give all our money to Israel and foreign policy interests.
You'll get that money back.
All right, fine. Yo,
and bring that
we
back
want
up.
A law passed for our protection against the police. There has to be a standard order procedure with sensitivity for the way we've been treated in this country. And those steps have to be followed in every situation with black people. And it has to be a hate crime for someone to attack us, just like the other nations in certain situations. And that means that the people that do that have to be judged to the fullest extent of the law.
Right.
Because we're not protected on a government level, just like the other nations that you pass crime bills for. You did it for them. We want it done for us. Give us that and you have our vote. That'll be groundbreaking historically. Black people have never had that.
That's what you're gonna say.
Black people never. Sure you did. And she's going to gaslight you into thinking that you got all of these benefits through history, when really it was just removing the fact that you was 3/5 of a human being and they leveled you up to citizen or close to. But they're going to tell you that was an advantage of some type. Come on, man. Be tough. I know you're watching this. Be tough and film yourself doing it.
I'll do it.
You're gonna find out.
I'll damn
Get
do
into
it.
the lesson, man.
I
I
ain't
don't want to talk
voting,
about that no more.
and I ain't
Kamala
voting
Harris
for
don't mean
none
a
of
damn
it.
thing.
Vote for
She
none of
married a white man. She left my
Yeah, well.
community. She went and became an AKA, which is a historically black sorority. Okay? Okay? That's historically black. And then you went and married a white dude. So why you throwing the historically black sorority in my face? That's not the people you ran with. And that's not, you didn't pick a man. You didn't go get an alpha and make that your husband. You went and got some weird white dude. Come on, man. Marry who you want to marry. You ain't in the truth. You're not our people. But stop throwing the black card in my face. You don't run with us. I make a good pot of greens.
That stuff is so offensive. Every Negro, so-called Negro under the sun, should be completely and horribly offended by that statement. I need to find that video. That's deserving of a slap in the mouth. And I don't advocate for hitting women, but that stuff there, that'll get your teeth removed. That's how offensive saying something like that is. If a white woman said that to my face, I would knock her face off. And that's not me being violent. That's just how utterly offensive that is. That is so offensive. So offensive. As offended as I was at that dirt on the bottom of her feet female said that mess to me yesterday. That's how offended I will be at somebody saying, I make collard greens. I make a mean batch of collard greens. Well, you need to stick your head in there.
You patronizing me when you say that. That's insulting to me. If you say that to me.
Offensive.
If you say that to me, I'll feel insulted. But you can't get a black pastor to say it. Black pastor's running with Trump. Hey, man, it's a joke, man. Let's get into the Bible. It's a joke, man. Now,
all right. Now, normally I don't do this. Normally I don't. Let's see what else you're going to read.
In the Israelite community, is a lot of tumult. Sons of tumult. Sons of thunder. There's a lot of tumult in the Israelite community. Yeah, they start throwing chairs now because it got stupid. I feel you. It got stupid. Now you got to throw chairs because it got stupid. When you really think about it, it's like, who are these people? Who are you talking to? That's what Charlemagne should have said to Joe Biden. Who are you talking to? What do you mean if I don't vote for you, I'm not black? What do you mean by that? What is it? What is it? What does it mean to be black, Joe? And if he'd have did that, he'd have got fired from his job, which he was going to get anyway. And all of his coworkers would have been mad at him. So you can't even be you. You can't be a proud black American. What? Hey, Kamala Harris, if you give us reparations, I'm stuck on this. If you give us reparations in any form, which we are promised, and then you realize you couldn't deliver the promise or would bankrupt the country, that's not our fault. We didn't ask to be your slaves. If you give us reparations in any forms, you got our vote. That's it. We want reparations like all the other nations got when they were scrutinized by America. We want that. Nobody criticized the Jews when they asked for reparations. Nobody criticized the Japanese when they got reparations, when America was throwing them in concentration camps.
We
want reparations. Whatever that looked like is what it looked like.
Nobody criticized Ukraine when America said, we're going to give you all this money. Here's a whole bunch of money. American taxpayer money, including black people. Here's their money for your defense against Russia. Here, take this. Nobody criticized.
But we want it. I left it open-ended. That woman going to tell you, I can't do that for you. The reason she can't do that is because she can't win. Because all of her white vote is going to go to Trump. She's going to do something for these Negroes, and I got to pay for it. I'm not racist, but I'm not doing that. You see? Be man enough to ask those questions when she comes to your colleges, and you're going to find out what the deal is. Now, let's go to Brother Paul.
All right. Normally I don't do this, but I really just wanted to get into his interlogue because that was so moving as to what he was getting into, and I really just wanted to bring that forth. Now I know he's going to get into some more good stuff. It's 10 minutes to 2 a.m. to 3 a.m. on the East Coast, and this video is at almost 2 hours long, right at 2 hours long. I really didn't anticipate it being this long, but it is what it is, and I'm thankful to be able to do it. I'm also thankful to be able to sit and listen to Adawan Yawa'al and to be in agreement with brothers who are advocating for our people. I'm thankful that that's the case. I'm thankful I'm not making a video against this brother for what he's teaching, because we need brothers like this standing with us, standing for us, and advocating for us, and doing it for nothing because of the love of in his heart, because his power have made him so. We need our people like that, and that's exactly where we should be. So I'm gonna go ahead. We're gonna stop it here, but not because we don't support the message, just because I wanted to only get into the very beginning of that. All right. Now, a lot of good information in this video. Long video. I didn't mean to make it 2 hours long, but there's a lot of good information in it. Learn from it. Watch it and learn from it. We didn't even get into any scriptures. I think I may have quoted one. He may have quoted one or something like that. But this is just us being real. That's why I had to put this up, because it was too real to not put up. But we're going to go ahead and close it out here. I'm so thankful to the Abba for another day's journey. I'm getting ready to shut down for the night, and we'll be back tomorrow, myself and Akinanaya. We'll get into some texts. We'll do look at some videos and review, and we're going to edify the people. We're going to edify the people. And we got a plan to go meet with some good people here soon, and looking forward to that. Looking forward to all the good things that the Most High have in place. And we know it's just a matter of time before Hamashiach returns, and we are set free. I cannot wait to be free from the wickedness of these people and this land. I cannot wait to be set free from all this wickedness that has consumed my people. I cannot wait to see my people outside of being wicked. I cannot wait to when wickedness does not abound, but righteousness abounds. I cannot wait. I cannot wait. And with that, I'm going to end with the book of Ecclesiastes, chapter number 12 and verse number 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear the Most High and keep his commandments, for this is the whole duty of man. It is so very important that we understand that in the conclusion of the whole matter, we are to fear the Most High and keep his commandments, because this is the whole duty of man. Understand, my people, so-called black man, so-called black woman, all the Israelites who know that we Israel, who know that we Yasha'al, who know that we Yasha'Allah. We are Mishpachah, we are family. And it is so very important that in the conclusion of the whole matter, we are to fear the Most High and keep his commandments, because this is the entire reason that we were made. I am Ya'akazaki Yahu, giving all praises, honor, and great esteem unto the Most High Power, Yahuwah, Bahashem, Yahushua HaMashiach, and to the 12 tribes of Israel who are scattered to the four quarters of the earth. I say, Shalom wa baruchim. That is peace and blessings. And I cannot wait to the day that the Most High brings us back together and we are once again 12 tribes, one family, one nation, under the Most High power, under one covenant, and back in our own land with a heart of flesh and no more a heart of stone. Until that day, shalom, family.